Today on the channel, we're going to take a look at my Peavey Wiggy amplifier. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a closer look at my Peavey Wiggy amplifier. I've had a lot of comments lately on my lesson videos where you can see this in the background, and some people have asked me, what in the heck is that amplifier? Some people know what it is and they ask me, hey, what do you think of that Peavey Wiggy? Some people have said, that's a horrible amplifier. I used to have one, I hated it. And so lots of comments on this amplifier lately. So I thought, you know what? It's been a couple years since I did the unboxing of this amplifier, and a lot of you may not have ever seen it or knew it was out there, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a closer look at the amplifier and what it does and what it sounds like. We can check it out. First and foremost, this is a discontinued amp. It's the Dweezil Zappa Wiggy amplifier, and the amplifier is designed to look like one of Frank Zappa's old classic cars. I can't remember which one Dweezil said it was modeled after, but this is supposed to look like a dashboard of like an old Maserati or something, an old car that Frank had. So it was like a tribute to his dad's classic car when Dweezil was a young kid, from what I understand. So got lots of cool little gauges and stuff. It looks like speedometers and tachometers, and when you look at them, they say mph, rpm, things like that. And they do weird stuff. So we're going to take a look at it, and it lights up. First and foremost, I bought this amplifier used from a guy on Marketplace that was down in Mississippi, and I'm in Nashville. And shipping this thing was not expensive, but he worked out a deal. He really wanted to get rid of it. He said the amp kind of crackled and had some static in the knobs, and it wasn't in perfect shape, but if I wanted it, he's working out a deal for me, and he'd work out a special price for shipping and stuff. So we did it, and I got it shipped and all for under $400, which that's fantastic. I mean, I saw one of these maybe 6 years ago at a Sam Ash music store that was $600, and the grill was all torn up on it, and the lights didn't light up, so I passed on it. But I was really enamored with the way that it looked. It kind of Art Deco-y, kind of futuristic looking Jetsons thing, right? So I wanted one, but I could never find one. You don't see a lot of them out on the market, and if you did, they were, when I saw them on Marketplace, they was always way too far out of reach. I couldn't drive to get them. Shipping was crazy, or the price was too high. So this was an awesome deal that I got, and it is a little scratchy. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to take the back off of it and spray some deoxit and clean it up a little bit, but it performs fine. It sounds okay. Sometimes you got to give it a little bit of a twist or a little bit of love here and there to get it to function properly, but it's old and it's been through a lot, so what the heck. So let's take a closer look. I'm going to do some close-up shots of it, and then we'll hear some raw audio from the front of it, okay? Cool. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this thing, all right? So let's just go from left to right, take a look at it. There's your high octane and low octane inputs, and a more. If you want more volume, you can adjust the more level. Input level. Here's the RPM, and then we've got some gauges here. All right, so we've got battery, boost, oil, temperature. These are basically like EQs from what I remember. Okay, and then this is the miles per hour speedometer. So what I remember, these are like volumes, and you can turn your master up and you can turn this level down and get a little bit of crunch, but they act as volumes. One will add more gain than the other, and the gain is not great. It's okay. It's a solid state amplifier. It is not tube. Over here we've got our Wiggy logo and 5-band EQ, more or less, right? And then in the front panel here we've got our resonance, presence, T dynamics, and then the power. There's the power switch, the power light. That one says loose and tight, okay? This does not have any texture to it. It's simply just feels like a plexiglass plastic sheet over this metal. You can feel everything's raised up. Now these are hazard lights. The hazard lights come on when the gain is engaged, and then they turn off when the gain is not engaged. Foot switch, standard 2-channel foot switch, I believe works with that. I didn't get a 2-channel foot switch with it, but I use a standard foot switch, and it has been working in the past. Sometimes the foot switch acts a little bit weird. I don't know if it's my cable I'm using, or if it's the foot switch, or it's the amp. This is a two Sheffield speakers and a 2x12. You can kind of see here where you can see where the speakers are diagonal. The Tolex on the front is cut out weird to shape, in the shape of this, the mesh fronting of the amplifier. It's got this bizarre look to it. Kind of goes with the Peavey logo. It's very Jetsons, man. The color of the thing, the shape of it. There's the handle. Got a few tears on it. I think these things came out in the early 2000s, I want to say. No longer made. I'm going to turn this around so we can look at the back panel. Okay, so here's the back panel. Just takes a standard power cable, and then you got your vents so the amp can stay kind of cool. All the Peavey logos and stuff. We've got a 16, 8, and 4 ohm output. $100 does have an effects loop, which is nice. There's the foot switch, and then you can turn the effects loop on or off, and then you can run a preamp in and out. So if you want to do some form of preamp in front of it, you can do that as well. Never really tried that. It's a pretty neat little amplifier. It'd be fun to take this off and take a look at the inside. Probably not a whole lot to see. I wonder if those are star bits. Are those star bits? I don't know if I've got the right tool to take those out. Alright, so that's the Peavey Wiggy. Let me turn this thing on so you can see the front panel. It lights up really neat. Okay, so I've got the lights turned off in the room. It's in the middle of the day, so it's kind of bright in here, but I wanted to give at least some idea of what this thing looks like when the lights are out, so you can see the dash lights. So in the dark, it looks really, really sweet. But automatically, without the foot switch plugged in, the hazards are on, which is the gain stage, and that's what it looks like. Trying to get it so the camera glare from the sunlight in here isn't crazy, so you can kind of see what it looks like. What a great conversation piece. Even if the amp, isn't your cup of tea, it's just cool. Everybody asks about it. So I'm going to plug this thing in and just run some camera audio so you can hear a little bit of the tones. I'm not going to run pedals through it and distortions and stuff because, quite honestly, I don't really have the time to do that in this video today, maybe on a later date, but really wanted to just show what this amp sounded like out of the box and what you can expect. It's really a good platform and a nice, clean sounding amplifier. So let's check that out. Okay, so full disclosure here, I had to pound on top of the amp a little bit to get it to come to life. I forgot that over time this thing has gotten a little bit weird on me, and I got to just kind of bang on a little bit to get the connections behind this particular volume control to work. So during the course of this video, it may wind up going out on me, and you may see me hit on the amp a little bit just to get it to go. All right, so we're in kind of the gain stage, which there isn't really a whole lot of gain, but here's what this sounds like with a volume set here and here, and then we'll go through a little bit of the settings and check that out. Okay, I've got the camera mic on so you can hear just room audio. It's kind of got a compressed feeling to it. Okay, let me bring up this volume a little bit and this down. A little bit cleaner. Check out some of the EQ. Let's bring the highs up a little bit. I don't like that really much. Let me bring the the mid down. All right. This amp sounds much warmer with the highs down. All right. Let's see if we can warm it up a little bit here. As you can tell, there's a little bit more gain now. You can see my readers moving. Quite a bit of bass moving. Good bass. I'm going to move these so they don't fall behind the amp forever. Alright, let's check out some of these knobs. We're going to use, this is the, let me put on my glasses, I can't see. This is the temperature, alright, temp. Alright, so that's high end. Here is the boost. Okay, we're going to bring the boost down. Alright, kind of scratchy, right? Here is the oil. Bring the oil way down. Bring the oil back up. Here is the battery. Now I have a booklet on this. The guy sent me a booklet that's a photocopy, a Xerox copy of a book that was on the internet. For the life of me, I can't find it. It's in a stack of my manuals and papers, and of course I couldn't find it for this video. Let's bring the boost all the way up. Bring the volume down here. Takes a while to get used to. Let's bring this volume all the way down to 0. Sounds kind of like a fuzz pedal. Gonna bring this boost down a bit. All right. Whoa! Bring this up here a little bit and bring this down. Here's the more button. More knob. Okay, let's do tight. Loose. Alright, so the tight kind of compresses it. The loose makes it a little bit, I like that better. Here's the presence. The presence and the dynamics. So it's pretty intriguing. This amp has got a lot of interesting knobs and EQs and settings that you can do with it. So I really think it's nice. Most of the people that buy this amp, I think, probably are confused by it and don't want to spend enough time messing with it to get the sounds and the tones that you need. And you could probably really dial in exactly what you're looking for with the right pedal combination. You've got an effects loop for your reverbs, your delays, things of that nature. And you can turn the gain on and off with the foot switch. And I really like the boost setting. I think with a little bit of a tube screamer or a gain pedal in front of it with this boosting gauge, you could get some really creamy Zappa-esque kind of fuzzy tones out of it. But you just have to take time with it and understand the amp. Recently on Dweezil Zappa's podcast, Running with the Dweezil, he talked about this on one of the recent episodes, and he said it was really a misunderstood amplifier, and that made me think about it. I went back and revisited this after that podcast, and I agree with him. It's misunderstood, and it's a really cool looking amplifier. Hope you like this kind of content. If you do, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a whole lot. And until next time, have a great day. Peace out.